Should a man pay for everything when it comes to the woman he's courting and the woman he wants to marry and be the mother of his children? Absolutely. He should want to never let her hand touch the bill. He should want to spoil her and love her and cater to all of her wants and her needs. Granted that she is also being the most amazing, beautiful, divine partner that she can be towards him. Should he? Yes. Can he always? No. I understand the economic limitations of today's society. I'm very, very aware of them. But regardless of whether he can or can't, inside, he should want to more than anything.
All right, that video comes from Layla. I hear a lot of agreement with that. Yeah?
I definitely agree. I think a man courting a woman should definitely handle everything, and a woman shouldn't even have to reach for the bill. That isn't to say that I can't pay the bill, right? Like, I'm equally able to pay, but if you're courting me and if you want me to be in a relationship with you, then yeah, I believe that you need to take care of everything.
Okay, what's everything? Because you talked about like the bill on a date, but we have some women who are like, you should be paying for me to get my hair done, you should be paying my car note, you should be paying my rent.
I think that's too much. For me personally, I think maybe it's hyper independence, but I don't need you to pay for every little tiny thing. But I think in the beginning, you need to at least want to pay for things. Because
I like that word,
I think that's the distinction, is that, yeah, a lot of guys will begrudgingly pay for things because they are supposed to, but I feel like they should want to treat me. I mean, it's not like it's that much. I mean, I think they should want to do that little bit of extra. This isn't about like somebody who has money. It's their internal desire to take care of you. I think that's,
I think
even if they don't, though, I don't think it has to be all the time. And again, it's not forever in perpetuity of their entire relationship. But like in the very first stages, like my first date, like, buy me dinner.
Roll it out. Okay,
Yeah, I think going off that, I think what social media has ruined for a lot of people, I think women, is like, they're always like, oh, you should find a rich man, you should find a rich man, you should find a wealthy man. I think you should find a generous man. I think that when a man is generous and he gives you whatever he needs to give you, whatever he can give you, that's what matters. Because he can be rich and he can be wealthy, he still doesn't have to spend any money on you. And so I think we need to shift the narrative from like, look for a wealthy rich man, bring nothing to the table, and it's more of a generous.
Okay. All right, Dr. V wants to get in on this. Okay. Dr. V.
So all of this sounds fine and well, but what's the flip side of that? What should you want to do, to offer, to give in response? Because what ends up happening is that I think it's one of the root causes of this toxic masculinity that we have, where men are thinking, well, this is all I need to give. This is all I need to be in touch with, is that money, is being able to pay this, that. And if I'm doing that, you should be happy. And forget all of the emotional, forget all of the relationship. It's just, and unfortunately, it really ends up becoming the downfall of your connection.
Definitely.
Because that's all they're thinking they're worth. And as we know, we want so much more from a partnership.
So much more.
At least I think we do, right? So I will tell you, it sounds great, but when you then go to women and say, oh, well, if I should be doing this, then you should want to have sex with me whenever I want. You know, you should want to be waiting on me hand and foot. And that's when we start to say, well, hold on. So, I think in reality, it doesn't work that way.
Right. Okay, so in reality, does it make sense to do 50-50 then?
I think in reality, you should strive for 50-50 based off of what your income is. You know, so many people will say, let's go with percentages. Let's give percentages, because then it doesn't matter what the numbers are. You're still being fair and balanced. I can't say that it works for every single couple that I work with, but when I tell them, if you were to give like the same percentage, like let's say 50% goes to savings, 20% goes to entertainment, everybody feels like, well, that you're doing what you can, but no one is feeling overly used or overly abused when it comes to
like that burden. I don't know how you ladies feel about that.
I feel like when we start with the percentages, it actually trickles over into anything. If we started with 50% for finances, then you have 50% of your emotions in a relationship. You have 50% of your commitment in a relationship. So I think you should start off the way you expect to end. So if we're dating, I desire for you to desire to do these things for me, but I also feel that I'm dating you as well. So maybe Monday you can treat, and maybe Friday I can treat, because I think it gives that equality across the board. Because if we start out, he's buying everything, like Doc said over here, next thing you know, he's controlling everything with the purse strap. So I think the way you start it is the way it's going to end. So if it's all him doing everything, then when it gets to a point that he no longer does it, then where have you placed yourself in that situation?
I want to say, I think there's a difference between the courting stage and then actually getting into a committed relationship. And I think it's going to be subjective for each couple, right? Because along the lines, like as you go down in the relationship, maybe he wants to save up for a house, or maybe you want to pay off your student loans, right? So if you're financially able to, why not work towards those goals? So maybe I'm paying 30% this month, you know, as we spend money over here to save for a house or to pay down my loans. You get what I'm saying? But it becomes like a partnership.
I agree. I think that when you have different goals as you go along, you have to adjust yourself. Like, okay, we're saving for a house, or he's building a business. Yeah. So how do I contribute while he's building his business? I'm building my business. How do I contribute? How does he contribute? Yeah. I'm having a child. I think it does adjust, but I do feel like traditionally, culturally, when we're at dinner, I don't ever pull my card out and pay, because for him it's like it's insulting. It's like he feels insulted that I'm sitting there and paying the bill.
And you found a man with those qualities.
Yeah, he's very traditional, and he likes that's what he likes to do. I'm going to allow him to do what makes him happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Asha, I'm glad you made that distinction also when you're first dating somebody to when y'all are in it deeper. I know Nabila has some things to say about that too, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back to chat about it.